Thank you for coming back. Welcome to RodezTrip. Once again, OCM, this is Evil Inside of Me. Thank you so much for letting us use your music. Today, I want to talk about a kid in Houston, 15-year-old who stole a church bus. He went on the highway with the lights off in the middle of the night, rammed at least one patrol car. I believe he was trying. The officer said that he was trying to either flip the bus or ram into the cars because he was swerving a lot and like intentionally going for them a lot of the times. Apparently, two cars of like civilians ran through the spikes meant to disable the bus. Eventually, they were able to catch up to the bus, I guess whenever the spikes went out or something, and they ran into the bus, pulled the kid out, and there was no other issues. Now, as bad as that is, well, I don't know how to phrase this. The pastor of the church, understandably, said that he felt the boy learned a valuable lesson, and I don't believe they're pressing any charges. Now, obviously, the state still will most likely press charges, I believe. They have the option not to, but just because the person whose property was stolen doesn't want to press charges, that doesn't mean that, he endangered a lot of lives. There's a lot of laws he broke. And the question is, how much of him being 15 should play a role? I know and I don't want to jump too quickly. I know there's plenty of things that people do at a young age that, you wouldn't do if you were more intelligent. But where is the line in teaching somebody a lesson who could later become a reliable member of society, somebody, who could contribute, versus somebody who needs to be kept away for as long as possible? And I'm not sure about this. I feel like I came in kind of starting wanting to bash this kid a little bit upset that it seemed like he would be getting a slap in the wrist. That being said, I don't know exactly what's going to happen to him. This could actually ruin the rest of his life, just with the charges on there, even without him being convicted of anything. There's also the case that, well, was he under the influence? Is he mentally competent? And age comes into that too. I think most people at 15 know, you're supposed to know the difference between right and wrong, but it's scientifically proven that teenagers up to, I think even all the way into the mid 20s have trouble, weighing the cost and risk benefits of certain things. So for instance, whenever they're more likely to run red lights, basically, because their main thing is I got to get home, and they just don't consider getting in trouble or something bad happening to them. It takes time to learn that. So I know too, there was actually you can all think of an incident, and there's been some stuff happening recently in my town of Divine, your home, that there was a teenager, but oh man, I'm trying to remember how old he was. I want to say he might have been an 18-year-old, but either way too, like a younger guy, and he had a mental deficit. He wasn't all right in the head, basically. I don't remember what he had, but it was definitely taken into account, and I believe he's out on parole currently. But he did some very violent stuff, and feel free to bring this up in the comments. I'm curious to hear people's take on it. How do we help somebody versus I don't know, especially a kid? Yeah, where do you draw the line of helping somebody versus they just need to be put away from the rest of society? And I think we have to weigh that line carefully, because kids, teenagers, and even younger adults can do really destructive things that they could learn from later in life. You can turn your life around given a second chance. But I guess what I'm wondering is, where do you draw that line? And I think there should be a special thing with violence directed at a specific person. Maybe joyriding. And this is a lot more than a joyride. Stealing a bus and, seeming to intentionally go at people is a lot more than a joyride. A joyride's just like you take a car without a license that maybe you're not supposed to have and just drive it around like a normal human being, hopefully following most of the laws of the road and not being too dangerous, and then returning it, in one piece. And even that you shouldn't do, but clearly, people need room to make mistakes, man. And I don't know, I've definitely, how much room exactly? How much room do we give somebody? And I don't think there's a set answer, but I think maybe we should all take a second to, whenever you see something, you're going to have a visceral reaction. That's fine. But take a time away from that. You know, if you don't want to put yourself in someone's shoes, you know, vent it off. And I think if you come back to it later, you know, your answer might still be the same. But I think if you have the same answer with a calm, reflective, you know, thought process behind it, then it's a lot more balanced. And I think it'll make society a lot better. I don't know. Gilbert, I'd like to throw this to you. What do you think? Give me your opinion on it. Once again, I truly appreciate everybody's take, and this will be OCM leading you out with You'll Get Cut Off. Thank you again, guys.